Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is the Blockchain Backer bringing you the latest cryptocurrency news and analysis. So, we've got ourselves a weekend update. We've got some pretty decent price action going on in the cryptocurrency market over the last 24 to 48 hours, and I feel like we need to address it because some really cool things have happened here. Right on the screen right here, I do have the total altcoin market cap. We're going to talk about a big move that just took place right here. We're also going to talk about a breakdown in the Bitcoin dominance, something that we've been talking about in the last few days. And then, of course, we'll take a look over here at the Ripple XRP price chart, which appears like it could be breaking out of a bull flag. So we'll address all of these. But first, this video will be brought to you uninterrupted by advertisements by Unstoppable Domains, which is a partner of Coinbase and a founding member of Ripple's Open Payments Coalition for PayID. Get your own .crypto domain address today with no renewal fees. It's yours forever, so you can combine all of your crypto addresses into one simple readable address. For example, mine is bcbacker.crypto, no longer requiring you to memorize the 25 to 35 character string address, which can lead to typos and copy-paste errors. It is as simple as typing in a readable domain address to send XRP from Coinbase wallet. The domain automatically forwards digital assets to the wallets you've chosen and can support multiple cryptocurrencies in one domain. Visit the link in the description of this video to get your .crypto domain today. All right, so let's start over here on the total altcoin market cap chart. Back in June of 2019, we had set a high right here at $142 billion before this market came tumbling all the way back down. And here in the last 24 hours, we are now up above this level. So this critical level that was a big resistance for us back in 2019, it has now been crossed. Of course, you guys know how I feel. There hasn't been any correction, but hey, if we want to keep on going, let's keep on going. But this is just a milestone for us at this point to start taking out previous highs. As you know, during this whole bear market, there's been no taking out of new highs. However, when we crossed over here, when we crossed 115 billion, we took out our high from back in February, and now here we are taking out our high from back in June of 2019. So regardless of what happens with price action, which we're going to try to determine over time, right? We can already say at this point, as of today, we are setting higher highs, guys. We are setting higher highs. It has broken out of this range, regardless of if there's a little bit of a pullback. No matter what, we can say a higher high was placed here and the trend is up. You cannot doubt it now that the trend is up because we have a higher high. So an exciting time for the cryptocurrency market, an exciting time for the total altcoin market cap. And even over here on the total market cap, including Bitcoin, we were talking yesterday how we were still butting up against this August 2nd high, but now we have taken that one out too. So money is moving into the cryptocurrency market as this total market cap continues to rise. It is not just a movement of money from Bitcoin into the altcoins, but fresh money is entering into the space. Now, of course, while it is an exciting time for the total altcoin market cap, I'm not sitting here advising you to buy into this uptrend. I'm merely pointing out the fact that we're taking out new highs. You know me, I like to buy when things are scary and very depressing and fearful, not when things are super exciting. But this is very exciting because on the charts, we've officially posted a higher high. And what's exciting about that as well is that the total altcoin market cap did not set a new low right here. As you know, it double tapped the bottom. So we have a double tap of the bottom and we are now trending with a higher high. Exciting. Also, let's move over here to the Bitcoin dominance. So, as Bitcoin dominance falls, it leads towards an alt season. So the altcoins are outperforming Bitcoin. In the last week, we have talked about holding this price level. And once this thing breaks, I expect that the total, the Bitcoin dominance to fall all the way down to 50 now, or 51. Now, I expect that eventually over time, and I know there's some people who do not like this idea that the Bitcoin dominance could come all the way down to 15%. I still fully believe that's what's in the cards. But right now, taking out this level right here, taking out 60, well, guess what? Altcoins are on the move compared to Bitcoin. So great to see that level got taken out for altcoin holders. As you know, I own altcoins. I own a lot of altcoins. It makes up way more of my bag than Bitcoin does. And, especially XRP being my top one. So very exciting to see that the Bitcoin dominance is heading in the down direction because that does mean that the altcoins are going to be outperforming Bitcoin Bitcoin, and they are outperforming Bitcoin. As for XRP, you know I've been talking about the 55 to 60 cent range is where I expect the next move to the upside to be. Whether or not we're going to get this pullback to 22.5 cents that I've been expecting is up for debate, and whether or not this big knockback we had from 32 all the way down to 24 was actually the knockback in itself. So, will we actually break to the upside? We're finding out right now. If we look back on this move right here and how we've just trended all the way down here, a full 702 retracement of this area would take us right into here. Well, where is right there? That's that 55 to 60 cent range. What else is critical about that level? Well, let's take all of this off the screen to make things easier to see. And what is this right here? Well, that's the June 2019 high. What has the altcoin market cap just done? It's taken out the June 2019 high. So for XRP to just catch up to the market, that's the area that we're looking for, is the retracement level right up there from 55 to 60, just to play catch up with the market. When we zoom in on kind of a tighter time frame, I've got us right here on the 4-hour chart, and we kind of just, draw out a little bit of a bull flag. You could see that there was an actual breakout that potentially has happened right here. And this is our actual back test of the breakout of the bull flag. Now, of course, this is just using a bunch of trend lines and trying to visualize something from happening. But if it is true, then, well, we've already broken out, which would be exciting for anybody who's a holder, anybody who's looking to make buys. It may start making you kind of wonder, oh man, what am I supposed to do? The reality of it is that XRP is behind the total altcoin market cap. If XRP was just going to catch up with the market, that would mean that it needs to get to 55 to 60 cents. Will you get that flasher that's going to offer you that 22.5? I don't know. In the past, that shows us what's happened, but also in the past, we didn't go up this high. So we did go up really high with a big knockback. Does 24.5 cents count? We're going to have to find out together. But one thing that's showing that there's a potential for that 22.5 not to happen is that we have this bull flag breakout back test, and also that the total altcoin market cap is already reaching up to that area of what would be equivalent for XRP of being 55 to 60 cents. So XRP still is undervalued in comparison to the rest of the market. Even right here at 30 cents, it's undervalued. So anybody who's thinking about making buys or whatever, this is not financial advice. It's not investment advice. But if you're buying here, you have to go into it with the mindset of, hey, I might have to, ride this thing down to 22, 23 cents, trying to get it up to 55 to 60 cents. Either way, for the people who have been around, who have been holding and who are getting in at that, 17, 18, 19 cent price level like we were a couple of months ago, you guys are sitting pretty. And boy, it's kind of an exciting time for anybody who's an actual holder. So for the holders, it's pretty exciting when you actually kind of draw it out and kind of visualize what it would look like getting up into that area right there, and then imagining to yourself, wow, $1 would not even buy you 2 XRPs anymore with how much accumulation we've been doing over the last few years, to be at a point where, you buy $1 worth of XRP and it only gets you like 1.8 or 1.9 XRPs. Wow, I mean, all the people who have just been buying probably blow your mind, right? I mean, how many times have you bought it where you got, 5.5 or 6 XRP per dollar, and then now you can't even get 2 when it gets there. So we're getting really close to that time, and I'm excited for it. And then at that point, we'll just have so many new things broken on this channel. All right, I mean, the channel will have been broken out down here, which we've already talked about the potential that it is just back testing this breakout that we've had right here, right? And then it breaks out, then it takes out high, and just new highs are being set. So an exciting time for sure. And well, if we're going to catch up to the total altcoin market cap, then we can expect that's in our future very soon. So that'll wrap up the charting portion of this video. Please remember to check the link in the description of this video to Unstoppable Domains to get your own .crypto domain address so you can receive cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, XRP, Ethereum, and Litecoin all to one simple address. Unstoppable Domains is a founding member of Ripple's Open Payments Coalition for PayID and a partner of Coinbase. So I know some people do want to get updates about my dog, because my dog did have some surgery last week. So I'm going to go ahead and, the rest of this video will just kind of be talking about that. So let me kind of wrap this up for most of you who are just here for the content and for the charting and stuff like that. So if it's going to wrap it up, if you want, you can follow me over here on Twitter at bcbacker. backer. And let me give you a little update on my dog. So my dog has had this really bad limp. It's just been progressing over months. We had spent a lot of money just trying to get him diagnosed. We finally just took him to the emergency room, in which they did a bunch of tests and eventually came back and said, you know what, it looks like he probably has cancer in his arm. So, they've done some tests where they stick needles in them and pull out the cells and look at them all and said, it's consistent with cancer. So we ended up having to do surgery on him. And of course, we paid for a bunch of other tests to check other things for cancer and stuff like that, right? So we went in and had surgery about a week ago. And yesterday, they called us to give us some of the results of the tests and the biopsies that they've done. So here's the good news. The good news out of everything that they took off him, right? So they had to take some little thing off his ear because he had a little growth going on his ear. They took off something underneath his chin. They, opened up underneath his armpit and took mass out of his armpit. And then they also did these other blood tests to check for cancer that could have spread throughout the rest of his body. Here's the good news. Every single thing that they tested came back benign. That there's no cancer. There's no spread of cancer. None of the objects or masses that they took off of him showed any sign of cancer. Here's the not so good news. They took out the wrong thing from his armpit and it's still in there. So he has to go back in for surgery again next Wednesday and they're going to try to get it out again. So the object they removed from his armpit was just, a fatty mass, just something of fat, I guess. It was not the object that they were going for. So he has to go back in for surgery again. I'm just like, oh my gosh. But like I say, I always try to remain in a state of gratitude, right? So obviously that's a terrible situation that we have to take him back. But here's the good news, right? So he's still been walking around with this limp, right? His personality has returned. He's been in good spirits. But it turns out all of his good spirits and, his arm swelling going down and all of that's due to a steroid that he's been taking. He actually still has the object still in his armpit. So the only reason we're seeing improvement from him is because of the fact that he's on a steroid. But he's still been walking around with this limp and not using his arm. So we've been kind of just thinking in our household, like, well, okay, this is going to be our dog from here on out. He's not going to be able to walk very well. He's going to have this really bad limp and not use his front paw very much. So what's the good news about that? Well, it turns out the object is still in there, so the reason why he is still limping is due to the fact that it hasn't been removed. So maybe his movements in his arms will return back. So there's still the hope for that, right? Secondly, all the blood results, all the biopsies, everything show that there's been no cancer spread throughout his body. That's really positive too. Not so great that he has to go back in for surgery again, but at least we know that, like, hey, his limp is still happening because that thing is still in there. So we can still have hope and optimism for his walking to return to normal. But I wanted to give you guys an update on that guy. I know a lot of you ask me for follow-ups on it, so there you go. The blockchain barker has surgery again next Wednesday morning. But all right, that is going to wrap it up for this one. Follow me over here on Twitter at bcbacker, and I want to thank you for watching. If you could, please like this video and give it a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can be notified of when I create new content and when I go live. As always, this is not investment advice and I am not a financial advisor, but if you ever need a pick-me-up or a little bit of reassurance, just remember that the blockchain backers got your back. Have a good one.